Welcome back to the channel. This week we are spending our entire time with this 2025 Polestar 3. This is the dual motor all-wheel drive version. It's not the performance version, so I don't have a performance pack or anything like that. So in most terms, it's like I've got all the other stuff, like I've got like the interior options and things like that, but it's not as fast, but still quite quick for what it is. Honestly, you won't even know the difference. Honestly, I don't even feel like I need to drive the full speed one. I think this one is plenty. Looks really cool. I really like what they've done with this Polestar 3. It's an interesting vehicle. The way it's set up is interesting. It honestly makes me ask the question of how reliable or how simple is too simple. Have they oversimplified things to the point where it becomes too complicated to even use? We'll get into all that this week, but like just checking out the exterior, we've got like, you know, Thor's hammer here. Kind of get closer to it. We've got Thor's hammer. The lights have now gone off because I think the vehicle's realized that I'm not using it anymore. And then we've also got the smart zone sensor and the front-facing camera here. And I love this too. Check this out. We actually have a bit of aero here. You can see there's like a little wing, a little front wing, I guess, right there. So it kind of will funnel some air all the way back here. And then you also have these guys, these little channels here that people might not like the way they look, but it is all for active aero. It's a very aerodynamic looking vehicle. I actually really like that back end there. It looks quite nice. And then we also have like this sticker on the side. It kind of shows you what you're working with. This is your kilowatt hours and your power. So 111 kilowatt hours, 360 kilowatts for the power. So pretty good. Again, really cool. So if you get the performance, you're gonna get like the yellow brake calipers and some nicer rims, but that's about it. Honestly, it's really cool looking. I really like it. And this is the weird part, right? So I've got this key here. This is the Polestar 3 key. And so the way that you're gonna use it is you think you tap it here. If you do that, it does nothing. So I gotta tap it here, and then there you go. That kind of will lock the car. Same thing if I wanna unlock it. There you go. So it's kind of weird. It's very unconventional. Let's check out the trunk quick because it's super hot out today, so I'm worried about my phone overheating. It may. But yeah, so a ton of trunk space. You can adjust the height of the vehicle as well, which is very cool. So I can touch that there, push it up. The air suspension, I can actually feel that working. That's quite cool. But yeah, you got a ton of space, little privacy screen. I believe I have some floor storage here. Yep, I do. That's where the wall charger is going to be located at, so that's cool as well. But yeah, it's very cool out here with this thing in the trunk space. Very good. Automatic tailgate, of course. I think it's well over 100 grand for this thing. So there's also that as well. So we'll get into it a little bit more during the week here. I'm going to spend some time with it. But first, let me give you my first driving impressions. Let's hop in because it is so hot out here. All right, so out on the road now for pretty much the second time this week. It is the evening though, since the last time I did film after picking it up. Kind of wanted to wait till the sun went down a little bit. It was just super hot. I mean, my car still says it's 31 Celsius outside, which for a good old Canadian boy like myself is pretty freaking warm. And it was like 37 when I picked up the car. So I just kind of wanted to give myself a little bit of a rest there and yeah, pick it up from here. But look, driving this thing so far, it is a really, really comfortable and quiet SUV, and it just is electric too, so that really, really helps things. It's going to help the wallet for sure. I've been polluting the air with all my gas cars lately, so now I'm going to save the environment just a little bit here with this Polestar 3, but it still packs a punch. It's not the performance version, it's the long-range dual motor. So right now I'm sitting at 83%. That's going to give me 320 kilometers. Not terrible. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that it's super hot out right now, so we'll see later on during the week if that changes and improves. It's obviously not great for you know, like a long range version to be at 83%, 320 kilometers. It's okay though. Like, it's definitely not like lowest bottom of the bottom. I think that was the EQB that was the lowest for that stuff. So we definitely have some range here. There's no doubt about it. But I do have like the AC on full blast. My ventilated seats are on because it's just hot. And I think the battery's probably struggling a little bit with that too. So we'll see as it gets to like more normal summer temperature what happens. But I'm on like a little straightaway here. Let me press the performance button. Let's slow down a little bit here. 2 hands on the steering wheel, and let's give it a little rip. Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Well, it's still absolutely fire, so I can imagine what the performance pack would do. But do you need it? Absolutely not. That is a perfect amount of torque and horsepower and EV. I mean, I was looking at the sky there. I mean, Jesus, it's fast. That's pretty good. It's heavy too, and you do kind of feel that weight on the acceleration like you do with a lot of EVs, but what that does do is give us a really low center of gravity, so the handling is really nice. Sunset here. I got a really nice interior, like you can see. It's really comfortable in here, and like I said, I just really love how quiet it is. I don't really hear the tires, I don't hear the wind, I don't really hear the other cars around me. It really shuts off the outside world. Probably the loudest thing in here right now is the AC on full blast, because like I said, it's really hot, so that's probably the loudest thing in here, which is really good. And I think that's what Polestar kind of is. It's more of like a luxury EV brand, or at least the Polestar 3 in the trim that I've got it, because I've got all the nice bells and whistles, the 360-degree camera, the Bowers & Wilkins sound system. So I've got all the additions that you'd want. So it definitely does feel a little bit more luxurious, definitely a lot more spacious than the Polestar 2, so that's good. I drove the Polestar 2 actually a year ago today, to the date of filming. I was in a Polestar 2, so really cool. That was kind of small for the back seat. I remember thinking oh boy, this is kind of tiny here. So I remember thinking oh man, hopefully the 3 is bigger when it comes out. Definitely is bigger. Definitely got a ton more room here, front and back seat. So very nice and comfortable. But I do still like the Polestar 2. I'd love to get my hands on it again, because I didn't have too much time with it last time. But the only thing I'll say is that if you're a fan of physical buttons, absolutely forget the Polestar 3. Matter of fact, forget the Polestar 2 as well. They've gone seriously with the Tesla formula, other than the fact that I do have a digital gauge cluster. That's the only big difference. But absolutely everything is controlled by this infotainment display. Even my buttons on my steering wheel, there's no labels. They just do things, and you have to kind of guess. It tries to help you figure out what it does, but it's just weird, and it's going to take a lot to get used to. This is definitely not a car that you could sit in and rent. You couldn't rent this for a day and understand how it works. By the end of the week, I'll be completely fine. I'll have a grip on it. But the first couple of days, it's going to be awkward. And because everything's controlled in the screen, if I'm going down the road and I'm trying to pay attention to the road, and the car's telling me, hey, you're all over the place, it's yanking me back in the lane and stuff, and I'm trying to fiddle around with this massive screen here. Ooh, little rip here. Ooh. Every straightaway, it doesn't matter, gas or EV, you gotta do it. Anyways, I'll be kind of looking at here, trying to figure something out. Where's this setting? How do I adjust this, change this? And I'm focus more on there. I might as well be texting and driving. I mean, that's what it feels like. It's crazy that we now live in a world where it is illegal to have my little cell phone in my hand and to respond to a message, but it is 1,000% legal to have this tablet of a thing, and I can be fiddling around with navigation and all this other stuff as a solo driver. Obviously, if you have a passenger, you're going to do it with your passenger, that's fine. If I'm by myself here and I want to do something change the one pedal, or change the way it drives, or take the performance on or off, or do something with the mirror, I'm in here and I'm not looking at where I'm going. No, I will say the Polestar have done stuff to mitigate that. So I have kind of Google Maps built into my screen, which is good. Google Maps is built in everywhere. This is an Android automotive kind of thing. So it runs on an Android OS, which is really responsive and really, really good. But it's just things are weird. Things that are weird places. You really have to get used to it in order to use it. Again, you're not getting in this car and just driving it. I'm definitely not. And then you got to use this key card right here, this key card to start it, just to get it to drive. You got to do that. Obviously, when you own it, you're going to have a cell phone. It's going to be connected. It's going to be, again, kind of like the Tesla experience, where you just kind of hop in and everything turns on, and then you hop out and everything turns off, and your phone is the one communicating directly with the vehicle, not the key. The key is what you give to somebody like a renter or a borrower, is to give them direct access to the vehicle without being able to control things remotely or see where it is. I get it. But it's just one of those things that's it really is more oriented towards the owner, which it should be. but it's just a little complex for a week. We're just gonna have to get used to it. I think like I said, by the end of the week, I will be used to it. So I'll leave it there for now. There's definitely a lot more to go over. There's definitely a lot that I probably haven't seen. I don't even know. I'm probably gonna have to Google some things and look into this system quite a bit and really play with it. This is gonna be a time where I'm just gonna have to sit here in a parking lot and just fiddle with everything for a while and just kind of really get a grasp on what exactly is happening in this vehicle, and then I can kind of report it to you a little bit more accurately. So like we'll pick it back up later. I'll have a little bit more refined thoughts and probably a little bit more knowledge on what exactly I'm doing and what exactly I need the vehicle to do for me. So once I set all that up, I'll pick it back up. All right, so welcome back outside with the Polestar 3. About midway through the week now, so the impressions are a little bit more refined, we'll say, because I really like the styling of this thing. I mean, I've had people tell me already, oh, it looks kind of weird. I mean, maybe the colors throw you off. It definitely looks better than the black one, and there's a black one with like the yellow calipers. It's not the performance package apparently. This is this is just the dual motor one, but so is the other one too in black. So black or this color with a white interior looks phenomenal. I actually really enjoy it. I love the wheels. I think they're big, nice and thick. You can see we're kind of on some gravel here. I don't really like taking EVs here, but I really didn't have any other places to go today. Everywhere is under construction in classic Montreal. But anyways, look at this back end. This back end is still impressive. I mean, this is kind of like if I was tasked with designing an EV that was like kind of premium, kind of high-end luxury, I feel like this would be what I would do. I mean, this is kind of cool, and I mean, it puts something like the Tesla Model Y, even in its performance package, to absolute shame. I mean, this thing looks way better than anything that Tesla is doing or has ever done so far. And it's kind of got the Tesla formula a little bit with that one screen, right? So I think this is really cool. I love the blue paint. But let me know what you think. I really want to know. And let's, if we can here, let's see how this works. I'll try to do it one hand. Let's see if we can open the front trunk. I actually haven't seen it myself yet, so there's no button for it inside, which doesn't make any sense. Everything else is in the screen. You'd think the front trunk would also be in the screen, but it is not. Let's see. All right, so I've got it. There's actually like a latch right there on the side. It wasn't clear. Nothing is really about this vehicle here. So yeah, there you go. And then you can access your front trunk like this, and it kind of folds back very nicely, and you can put like a wireless charger. It's actually usable space, not at all easy to get to, but usable space nonetheless. And I like how like it's very ergonomically designed as well. It's kind of like a flap that closes. I'd probably put a wallet in here or something, maybe the wireless charger, so it doesn't take up any trunk space if I had like a lot of stuff to bring around. But honestly, this is perfect for just kind of like an extra storage. It's there should you want it, not something I'd probably use all that much. And then there we go. That's pretty easy to close too. So yeah, a little interesting to open, but let me know what you think. What do you think of the overall spec, the exterior? If I haven't showed you the interior yet, then just give me your exterior comments and we'll hop into the interior in a little bit here. But yeah, it's I like it. It's growing on me. Living with it's been challenging because I have to figure so many things out, but also looking at it just stylistic wise, very nice. All right, so let's start up the Polestar 3. I'm just taking some pictures out here, but let's say you're an owner and you don't have your app access. Well, you're going to use this card. So first what you'll do, usually the car is locked, so we'll go ahead and lock it just for the purpose of showing you. So that's how you lock it, and obviously if you lock it that way, the unlock is the same way. You hold the key card right there, it pops out, and it's only the driver's door, at least from what I've seen this week, that will do this. And then you're going to want to just hop in here. I have one hand here, so I'm going to place the key here. It has to go on the wireless charger. Close the door, and in order to get it to go to drive, so this is like the car started, it's on, right? You can see my Apple CarPlay is connected and everything, but it's not actually like on yet. So what I have to do in order to get it moving is I've got to place this here. It has to be there, and then put it into drive, and you can see now I can manipulate the steering wheel. That's how you turn your Polestar 3 on. So it's very interesting, but usually I believe if you have the app access, you won't need this card. You can just, your phone will act as the key, the car will detect it, and you're on your way. So there is no, you don't have to place your phone here or anything like that. It's just a regular old wireless charging pad, but it also serves as the double for your key card, or if you ever lend your Polestar 3 to somebody, that's probably what you'll give them so that they can still access the stuff without having the phone connected. Pretty cool. Okay, so sitting inside the Polestar 3 right now, a very simplistic interior. It makes you ask the question, how simple is too simple, right? Because really the only physical buttons I have are like the ones here on the steering wheel. I guess you can consider these window controls physical, and then obviously you have your gear selector with this physical. This is a physical button too, and then I've got some physical buttons up here, and that is pretty much it. Absolutely everything else is controlled by here. So let's actually just start here. We'll do it quickly. It's got Android Automotive built in. You can see I've got Google Maps built in. You can also download other things, so I can download other apps. You know, I got Prime Video, Spotify Tidal, all the streaming stuff is there. But you got to sign in. You need a Google account to be able to do that. And then, like, I've got everything else that's controlled here too. So I've got like heated and ventilated seats. My climate control will also be controlled from here as well. You can see rear. It does have this cool thing where I can see the air quality, which is cool. So it says inside is good, outside is also good, but it will, you know, kind of clean. It's got like an air purifier in here, so that's really good news. Kind of, again, kind of like the Tesla does. It's kind of got like little Tesla inspirations here, just like the fact that I showed you before, where you have to put the key here in order to start it. Tesla has the exact same thing. But anyways, you can control absolutely everything. If you bring up this, it'll bring up the shortcuts thing, and you can. This is where you'll kind of adjust your brightness. But you can see I have my windshield wipers. That is also in here, but you can also control it from there, so don't worry. But you also have lighting controls. You can open the trunk, the driver adjustments, and then the glove box I can quickly open. But driver adjustments, so again, it's exactly like a Model 3, where if you want to fold the mirrors or adjust them, you're going to use the buttons here to do that. And then same thing with the steering wheel, you're going to use the buttons here. It does repurpose the buttons for that, but I have a problem with that, and we'll tell you that in a second here. But yeah, so everything's here, and then I can also swipe to the left or right, whatever it is, and then I can control my drive stuff. So this is very much like what you'd see on the Polestar 2, if I remember right. I can control everything else. So for sport mode, it's basically either range or performance. If it's in performance, it's full power. If it's in range, it's you know, pretty measured, but still pretty fast. I can control my suspension feel, steering feel, one pedal drive, and you know, basically everything you see here on this screen. So pretty simple. I can control my charge, my assists, my sound. This one is really cool, and I have to highlight it. So let's open that app right there. And you can go through these presets, but there's one called Abbey Road. What's that? Immerse yourself into the depth and scale of a modern, vibrant, large studio sound. So you can open the app, and it'll give you a bunch of presets for different, you know, surround sounds. So if you want an intimate, an open, an energized, or an expansive thing, kind of give you different things. Or you can do producer mode and adjust it exactly to your liking. So you can have this running while you're listening to something, and you can figure out what sounds good to your ear. A very good thing. This audio system, I mean, there's speakers in the headrest, there's speakers there's one big one up there. They're absolutely everywhere, and yeah, it sounds really good. It's one of the best I've ever heard, actually, inside of a vehicle. So really good job there. Can also control my lights and stuff like that. So you get the point, right? Everything is controlled from here. Absolutely everything. It's not terrible. It's very smooth. Android Automotive is very snappy as well. It's just, if you like physical buttons, forget the Polestar 3. You already hate the Polestar 3 because of that. I'm indifferent. I like the tech. I like a computer on wheels. I feel like it has its good and bad points. This one I don't mind. It's running very well. Look, I can even open the glove box. It doesn't just slam open either. It's got a very smooth and elegant opening. Very, very elegant of this car. You can see even the trim is elegant here for the passenger and stuff. And you've got like ambient lighting, but I've only got gold or white ambient lighting. That's it. There's no different colors. They don't allow you to choose that at all. You kind of just get what you get. And then I can also adjust my seat. So I have like a little button that I can press, and you can see I can press it again for that area, press it again for that area, and then I can also just click massage, and I can choose from different things there, and you can start it'll run for about 20 minutes. I also got a 360-degree camera. It's really, really responsive, pretty high res too. You can have the front and the back should you want it, and it'll kind of pop up automatically as you're trying to park or whatever, but it's there, quick access, ready to go. So that's it. I mean, I won't spend too much time on it. If you do buy this thing, you're really gonna have to spend some time, sit with it, and just see, you know, what it is, you know, just situate things where you need them to be situated, and then, you know, kind of continue on from there, because it's just a crazy amount of stuff to go over, and features and settings and lists and everything in between. So you're really gonna have to spend some time with it. But let's take a look at the steering wheel, right? So pretty standard steering wheel. It's nice. Got like these little hand cutouts here. It's kind of flat. You can see it has like a blacked out band there. Maybe the performance version has like a yellow or something like that. But you can see I've got no buttons labeled at all, and that's normal. This isn't a glitch. It's absolutely normal. So right-hand side, I'll show you what it does. So this will bring up the Google Assistant. If you want to like use voice commands, you can press it. This one will allow you to change kind of your windows or like your different views. So you can see I've got the Google Maps one, which I like to keep up. Then you also have this one when you're driving, say like if I drive past that car, it'll pick it up, kind of like the Tesla does. And then this one's kind of like the standard view or whatever. I do like the Google Maps one because oftentimes I'll have my Apple CarPlay music up there, so I like to see it. Shows me my speed there. I'll also have a heads-up display, which will show me my speed right over there. Then this left-hand one does absolutely nothing when you're stationary because it's for cruise control only. I can't repurpose it. I have no ability to control the audio. I can't skip a track. I can't do anything from the steering wheel at all. All of that has to happen through this, which does work, right? Like I can skip, I can move it left to right, I can turn the volume up and down, I can play and pause. That's all you need to do, and it is within reaching distance as I'm driving. I just don't get how, one part of the vehicle can be reprogrammed for that, and I can't choose what these buttons do and when they do it. Like, it's just weird. I feel like they have the software or the tech is definitely available to be able to repurpose these buttons to do different things for the car. So it can technically, with a software update, eventually, I can maybe customize this. And I hope that's the case because just give me my controls on the steering wheel. I just like that. It's a personal preference thing. But there's so many things you can do with software like this. I can customize my steering wheel buttons. I think I should be allowed to do that. I don't know. I feel like it's just not something you should take away from. But anyway, steering wheel feels very nice either way. I also don't really like the fact that I don't have 4 knobs. I mean, it's a little complaint, but it is a complaint anyways. I don't really like having to press a button and then use my switches. I feel like there's enough real estate here for it. It's just one of those things, again, how simple is too simple. They're oversimplifying. They're kind of reinventing the wheel for nothing. You could put 4 switches here. You could do it. No problem. Other than that, I do have cup holders. I have a little bit of storage under here, 2 USB-C ports right over here. And then I also have like this guy, which you can probably fit papers, probably a good place for your insurance and stuff like that to go there. These cup holders have like a little slidey thing. I showed you the key card already. Very simple. You won't need to use this if you actually own the vehicle, but I don't, obviously. So then you have also this nice little cubby. It's quite deep, so I like that. A nice material here for the armrest. Passenger seat, like I said, gets the same treatment. We got the sound system in the headrest. We have ventilated and heated as well as massage, so very nice, very comfortable. The space here, you can see, is not compromised at all by the baby seat. There is a ton of room and then some for all of this here. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. I'll pick it back up a little bit later. There's a lot to go over because this infotainment is quite expansive. And, I have thoughts. I do have thoughts. But we'll see. We're about midway point through the week right now, and we'll see if things change. If I like it any better closer to the end of the week. But stay tuned. We'll keep it going here. Okay, so back on the road now. Polestar 3. Here we go. So I've spent we're almost at the end of the week now at this point here, and I spent a considerable amount of seat time in here, back and forth, going over to friends' houses. It's been really, really hot outside, so I'm at currently 96%, seeing 470 kilometers here. So at 100%, I was about 490, close to that 500 range, which is actually pretty good considering this is a long range, or it wants to consider itself a long range EV. 500 kilometers is actually decent. Honestly, I think anything over 450 is pretty good for an EV that has a dual motor and that has all this performance that we do have here in this version of the Polestar. So I do like all that stuff. It's just the whole week I just have this feeling of we are constantly reinventing the wheel with this thing. I mean, there's just simple little things like controlling the mirrors and the steering wheel that have to be done through the infotainment and then through the steering. It's just all this other stuff and other process where things could go wrong, where it just is not needed. Just simply, it's just not necessary. I do like the overall simplicity. I do think it's still a better implementation than Tesla. I would take this over a Tesla any day. I think it's got about as much performance as any Tesla as well. So let's rip it again here. Let's go. Oh, my tripod flew in the back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's really fast. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's more speed than anybody could ever want or ask for, or honestly even need. And the thing is you don't really see too many Polestar 3s out on the road simply because they're quite expensive. I mean, it's elegant, it's extremely comfortable, right? But they're really expensive, and you kind of have to like enjoy what you're driving. You kind of have to know it exists almost, and I feel like that might not be the case, which is why I'm sitting here covering this vehicle, because for those of you that do have a budget, well, I want you to know about this vehicle, and I want you to know kind of how cool it is. And I'm a tech guy. I come from a tech background. I am an IT professional, right? Like, I understand tech, and I get the point of involving tech in vehicles. I think they mesh very well together to an extent, right? And some vehicles, like a lot of the Volvo stuff that's going on, a lot of Polestar stuff, it just takes it slightly too far. But I do still appreciate the look of it, and I still do appreciate the piece of software that it is. Like, I don't feel like I'm an old person that absolutely hates it, because that's not the case. It is hard to use. There is a very steep learning curve to it for anyone, even somebody like myself, who I have a ton of experience behind the wheel of plenty of different cars that are complex or simple, and I've got a tech background, and I still find this thing at times quite confusing. But I guess long-term ownership, if you really want to, you're not going to have an issue. Also, I wanted to talk to you actually about the driving, right? So it's really fast. It actually handles quite well, but let me go over some of this drive settings that I'm in here. So I have it in, right now I have it in range, but if I want to go fast, I'll put it in performance. Either one, honestly, is like lightning quick. So no matter what, I feel like I have creep off. I like the one pedal driving. I keep it on standard. I know it's quite aggressive, but if you're like light with your accelerator pedal, you can really get it to like a smooth braking feel. But what's good is you can also turn it completely off. I just like one pedal driving. I like not using the gas pedal or the brake pedal at all to slow down. It's very nice. And so in terms of steering feel, light is like feels dangerous, because when I put the steering feel in light, here, we'll do it now. Like, I'm gonna approach this corner, and I don't feel like I'm controlling anything. I feel like the car is almost doing it for me. Standard is okay, like it's pretty decent. I feel some type of connection, but firm, thankfully, like I feel very connected to the car. It really does stiffen up the steering quite nicely, and I feel in control of something, which is obviously when you're driving down a road doing any speeds, you like to feel in control of things, so that's good. In terms of suspension feel, I've tried firm. It's all right. Feels like more of like a sporty experience. Nimble is by far the worst one. It's too bouncy. Like, I hit potholes with it, and I feel like the vehicle's just doing this. I usually keep it in standard. That's kind of the most balanced one. It handles the big bumps quite well. It handles the small bumps quite well. It doesn't oscillate me or jostle me around too much. So I do just like to stay in standard pretty much for that as well. In terms of visibility, it's very good. I love these frameless mirrors. It's such a nice little touch to have. No issue with the rear view at all. There's no digital rear view mirror, again, at this price point. And if you have this much tech, why not? You could also upgrade to the performance pack should you want, but honestly, like, the amount of performance you get just out of, like, I guess the base model or the one that I've got here is like, it's more than enough. I mean, every EV is going to be fast, and this has, like, I think close to 500 horsepower. Like, you don't need that much more, especially in an EV. Like, usually the goal is to not spend money on gas and also be efficient with your electricity that you do have on board. So, like, you're not going to really mess around with pushing it all that much and, like, being lead foot. For me, I like how quiet it is. Like, so you're probably hearing my voice absolutely clearly. You can kind of hear the tires a little bit. You can hear the suspension bumping up and down sort of on the big potholes that I have here in Quebec. But honestly, like, it's so quiet, and it makes this Bowers & Wilkins sound system probably stand out even more than it would on a vehicle that has less noise isolation, or like an engine or something like that. Like, it just stands out so much. Even like a podcast experience, like, I feel like I'm hearing it, like you get some reverb on it. It's really cool. And so yeah, it really helps this sound system really, really shine. And yeah, it's just been an enjoyable experience. I mean, it's expensive, yes, and I believe there is a market with it, because this is better than anything Tesla's ever done and possibly ever will do. It feels still like an SUV while still being a computer on wheels. It kind of has that interesting duality there. So yeah, I don't hate it at all. It just there is a lot of reinvention of wheel in it, and that's kind of one of those things that you are going to have to commit to the learning curve and just learn it and deal with it. And you know, that's kind of the cost of ownership here. But yeah, that's all the thoughts I have for like almost end of the week, kind of driving number 2. We'll go over a little bit more. If I haven't shown you the interior, I'll show you that. If I haven't shown you the front trunk and stuff, you'll see all that as we go through here. I got a little bit more to film for you guys, so I'll pick it back up a bit later here. All right, so final impressions for the Polestar 3. What a good week it's been. Look, I think this is probably one of the best EVs, luxury EVs on the market right now, just because of what it is, what it can do, the space, the luxury stuff inside, like everything combined makes this thing an absolute steal in terms of, you know, what I want from a luxury EV. If you can live with the fact that everything's controlled by a screen and that, you know, there could be some software issues and glitches and stuff like that, but this is a very, very cool car to live with. I'm sure it's very, very nice to own as well. I've done it for a week. It's been absolutely flawless, perfect. I don't enjoy using that key card, but that's something that would get fixed if I own the vehicle. I could use my phone for everything, and it would act as like a key fob. The car would react to it and everything like that. So it really would mitigate that little issue. And that's kind of the one thing this week that I was missing being able to test is the phone capability, but I get why. You know, this is a tester. It's not gonna, you know, they're not gonna pair it to your phone every time. It's just not how it works. But look, I mean, the range is borderline, like right there. It's not enough for me to complain about it. It's also not enough for me to brag about it. It's right there in that category of it's okay, it'll get the job done. And look, that's kind of what it is. I don't know if there's other EVs in this price point really that compete, like, because obviously you have like the Silverado that's in the same price point sort of, but it costs a lot more. It has a lot more range though, but that's the other thing. So you know, like it's just one of those things. I don't know. I've not driven the BMW iX, so I don't have any numbers on it. Could be that one is a better option just based off range and different things like that. We'll see. If I ever do get my hands on it, you know, I'll let you know which one's better at the end of all of it. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more Polestars on the channel. If you want to see the 2 make a return, possibly the 4 at some point, if I can get my hands on it. I actually really like the look of the 4 too. It might look better than the 3. I don't know though, because I haven't seen it in person yet. So we'll see. Cat's still in the bag for that, I guess. And yeah, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe so I know you're still there and you're still watching. I'll see you next week. See you in the next car. Take care.